Hello, everybody. My name is Alia Kate, and I'm the founder and owner of Kucha, a fair trade design business specializing in Moroccan rugs and textiles. In light of tonight's theme of travel and exploration, I wanted to take you on a journey of how I came to fall in love with rugs in the first place. But first, I wanted to ask you, how many of you have been to Morocco before or recognize this place right here? Raise your hand. Okay, a few of you in the audience. So this is the Jemaa el-Fna, which is the central square of Marrakesh. From here, this is the portal into the city's winding market streets, and visitors who've been here have stories of being asked for their hand in marriage in exchange for camels, or buying that rug they didn't even know they wanted. That's the Morocco of the stories, but the Morocco that I came to know is a little different. I first went to Morocco 10 years ago. I was young, impulsive, brash, and broke, not a good combination, and I got taken out to the desert by these Berber blue men in a story that would make my mother cringe if she heard it now. My misadventure aside, one of the hardest things about that first trip to Morocco was my inability to connect with the women and children. Even though I spoke French, which was one of the national languages in Morocco, I didn't speak their language. Not to take a challenge lightly, I decided to learn Arabic and move back to Morocco, which is what I did the following year. Upon returning, I realized that I would need to learn more than just Arabic if I wanted to get close to the women. In a country that is known for its craftsmanship, weaving is the only craft that is performed solely by women, so I decided to start with the rugs and the weaving. And more specifically, I started with the designs and the symbols that I saw. And it wasn't just the designs and the symbols that I saw on the rugs. It was the designs that I saw that were etched onto the foreheads or onto the hands or the forearms of the women that wove the rugs. While tattooing is not really a common practice anymore, this woman still proudly bears her tattoos, saying that it's her Berber passport. And with that, I realized that the designs on the rugs and the designs on the tattoos were coding for geographic regions, for tribal regions within Morocco. And they say that the first rug that a girl will weave is her dowry rug, so that when she leaves her home and goes to live with her new husband's family, she brings with her a visual story of where she's from and who she is. This rug, for instance, is a Galawi rug from the southern desert region of Morocco. The Galawi tribe was a warrior nomadic tribe, and not only a beautiful, exquisite piece of work, it also is a functional piece of work where the Galawi people would put their belongings on the inside, fold it in half, and carry it with them from place to place. Now, while the rug styles differ, the weaving itself is pretty much the same throughout Morocco. Whenever you see the weaving, you have at least one woman, and sometimes you have up to 6 women weaving on the same rug. They're mostly illiterate, and they weave from memory, following designs that have been handed down to them throughout the generations. These women are not only weavers, but they're also mothers, and some of them weave in cooperatives and associations, but the vast majority prefer to weave from home, where they can take care of their household duties, like taking care of the kids, cooking, cleaning, and etc. When the women weave, their fingers fly across these warp threads, separating, pulling, inserting the wool, and then making designs appear. I remember watching them do it and being astounded at how easy they made it look, and I asked them about it. And one of my artisans put it into perspective for me. She said, "Alia, you write with words that turn into paragraphs, that turn into stories. We, on the other hand, we weave with wool and turn that into designs, and that turns into the rug itself." And with that, I realized that these rugs are a story, much like my stories. It's the story of their land and their people. Which is why when I decided to start my business, Kucha, I decided to go straight to the source. In the bustling tourist cities of Fez and Marrakesh, you can find any number of eager rug salesmen who will invite you in, sit you down, give you the mint tea treatment, and tell you anything you want to hear. While it sometimes makes for a good story or an unplanned purchase, that wasn't what I wanted to do. On my first buying trip, I thought it would be a great idea to go by public transportation. 5 days later, in one of the most remote villages in Morocco, with nearly a broken back from the weight of all the rugs that I had just bought, looking like a crazy bag lady, I decided that from then on out, I was going to rent a car. And that's exactly what I do. I start in the north and I drive my way down the backbone of the Middle Atlas Mountains, stopping at cooperative after cooperative. And it's on these desert drives that I'm reminded of these rugs here, which is called the harita rug, which in Arabic, harita means map. And it's named that way because it represents a map of the land that it's from. When I arrive in the villages, I stay with the artisans. I sleep on their living room floors. I eat couscous with them on Friday. I work on improving my Arabic and learning some of the Amazigh dialects. I learn about their religion and their culture, and I watch them weave the rugs. In short, I become a part of their family and also a part of their cooperative while I'm there. Over time, it's these trips that have allowed me to understand the conversation that happens between the rug and the maker, between the designs and the tribal region that it represents. And with this knowledge, I'm able to breathe life back into these carpets and make them dance and spin and twirl around. When I first started Kucha, I was curating my pieces from within the women's inventory, picking pieces here and there. Recently, as I've expanded to other products like pillows and custom-made rugs, I've started to design the pieces, always working with the artisans and always keeping in mind the traditional designs, but infusing it with this modern aesthetic. And now with the common language of design and textiles, I'm able to engage with the artisans and communicate with them, and together we're able to experiment with new styles. Right now I have a line of pillows and rugs that are available on my online shop and also through several boutiques in the New York area. But Kucha is more than just about the products. Kucha is a story of an ancient craft that's making its way in a modern world. I invite you to follow along on my Instagram or Twitter. The handle's @MoroccanRugs, and please join in the conversation. Thank you.